myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we will be looking at the use of indicator named RSI, that is the Relative Strength Index. This is widely used indicator. This is part of the oscillator family. And in today's session, we will see how we can use this indicator on the Visual JForex platform to design and develop the automated trading algorithms which will bring us the more profitable trades. So that's how we can use this indicator block. This is the RSI. We don't have the description here, so we straight away head to the Visual JForex board developed by Dukascopy Bank SA. In this listing, you will find this RSI indicator amongst the oscillator indicators. So far, we have seen all these oscillator indicator. Now it is the turn of RSI, and in tomorrow's session, we will be considering the standard deviation indicator. So let's get started for today's session. RSI is widely used and one of the popular indicator, and I hope you might be well aware how you can use this in the manual setup. Now in today's session we will be mainly focused on how to design the system using RSI and how to define these parameters to get the desired trading opportunities. The calculation for RSI is done as follows here. We simply have to take the normalized value indexed to the 100, and this difference between the average closing on the day on which the price closed higher, and we divide with the average of the number of days on which the price closed lower. So we take that average and then we index it to the 100. Here this formula I have included, and if you want to do further research on how this indicator is derived, then you will have to do bit of search on the internet and you will get it. We will not really go into its mathematical calculation. For us, that job will be done by our computerized system. Let us add the RSI on the chart. This is the Euro USD hourly chart, and I have added the RSI indicator on this visual the JForex platform. Now you might be aware that this indicator is the indicator which helps us determine the trend as well as the strength of the trend, and also we can use it to trade the contra trend by using the overbought and oversold indicators. And here whenever we see that the RSI is on the rise and it is above 50, that points to the upward momentum in the underlying instrument. And when we see that RSI value is falling and it is below 50, that means the bearish tendencies are in charge and it's better to look for the short sale opportunities. But when the RSI value dips below 70, and then if it stays there and again tries to regain its level above 30, that means the underlying security has been in the oversold territory and now it is trying to show some retracement. It is trying to regain some lost ground, and this might be the opportunity to go for the contra trend trade trades where we can look for scalping opportunity. And inversely, for the overbought scenario, when we see that underlying security has been trending and now it has entered in a scenario where the RSI value is above 70 and it is now again starting to decline, and the RSI is starting or looking at dropping below 70, then we can initiate the sell trades. And here this way we can play the scalping setup also. And traditionally when we see that the RSI value crosses above 50 from below 50, That means the underlying momentum is strong on the bullish side, and it's time to get involved for the fresh trading opportunity while trading with the trend. And this way, we can look for the big trades also. And for the bearish, for the short sell trades, all we need is the value to drop below 50 after having been above 50 for extended period of time, and that means the momentum is now strongly in favor of the sell trades, and we should also be looking at the sell trade, short sell trade opportunities. Now let us head back to the Visual JForex board. Here, to use this RSI indicator block, we have to define the four parameters. Depending on the four parameters, we get the output value. We also have to define these other settings where we have to select whether we want the calculation to be done on the bid side or on the ask side, and then the candlestick price, which kind of candlestick price to be used for the calculation of RSI. We have all these options provided from close price, open price, and other couple of options including the high price, low price, median price, typical price, and some more options are also there: time, volume, and weighted close price. So we can use this indicator block to design and develop the automated setup. To do that, first we have to select the instrument on which we want to design the setup. If you want to work with the Euro USD, you don't really have to change anything. But if you feel like that you should also use other instrument, and if you want to design the algorithm for any other instrument which is supported by this platform, you can do so. All you have to do is see whether that instrument is available in this drag down list and then choose accordingly. In today's session, we will work with the AUD USD. So let us find the AUD USD, Australian dollar, and the US dollar. Now, coming to the time period of the candlestick, you can use the time period anything starting from 10 seconds to all the way to monthly. So it is always dependent on our setup, how the setup is, and how we want to trade. I think let us go for the longer term horizon, and we will select the 4 hourly as our time frame for calculation of the RSI. Shift is the look back period, whether we want to take into account the current value or the prior value. All you have to do is take the appropriate shift value. If it is 0, then that means the current value, the current candlestick price action will be taken into consideration for calculation of the RSI, and the current value, the current output value of the RSI will be collected in this output value. And if we change the shift to say 4 or 5, say for example 4, then we will be looking at the RSI value of 4 candlesticks period back. So let us change this also. And time period is the average prices, the closing levels which will be taken into account. So that is the duration of the candlesticks and how many candlesticks which will needed to be taken into consideration for calculation of this final output value. And usually people go with the 14 candlestick period. This is the default value, but you can always change it, you can reduce it, you can increase it, and it will work accordingly. We will do some experimentation on the JForex chart to see how this pans out. So we change this default instrument, and we change the time period of the charting. I have made this AUD USD of 4 hour. Okay, now we have loaded the data. As you can see, when we take the longer time from zone, we have these trends which last lot more longer, and then we see these once in a while these quick moves. But as you can see, this indicator gives us very good idea whether the underlying instrument is trending on the upside or it is trending on the downside, and whether it has entered in the overbought territory or whether it has entered into a oversold territory. So we all get to know that. And as I have taken the look back period at 4, that means we will be going back in time by 4 candlesticks, and we will be taking into account the value, output value for this candle, which is now 4 candles away from the current candle. So that's how this system works. And also we can change this time period for calculation of the RSI. We can reduce it, we can increase it, and please observe the plotting of these RSI as I change the values. If we calculate the RSI for 10 candlesticks, then this is somewhat different from the candlestick calculation with 14. Now if we make it 20, 20 is something like this. 20 is longer time period than the 14 or for 10 that matter. We can even increase it further. So 30 RSI, 30 period RSI will look something like this. And this is how we come to see this RSI indicator and how to use that. Basically, we have to see what is the kind of setup which is likely to bring us more profitable trading opportunity. And for that, we have to observe, we have to make changes, and we have to see what kind of setup is likely to give us an edge, and then test it extensively on the historical data to see if our assumptions are going to hold or not. And then accordingly, we can also use these setup for trading on the Visual JForex platform. Here, these applied prices, how to calculate this value. Now, we can also change the applied price. Please observe the RSI plotting. If we simply change it to high price, you will see minor change. If we change it to low price, again, there is a minor change. Median price, the RSI plotting is different because the RSI values are going to be different depending on which value is going to be taken for calculation of the average price moves, and that's why we are looking at this difference being generated. And then you can use this data inside, which you can gather after building this algorithm and then testing it extensively on the JForex historical tester. And then if you feel the setup is likely to hold well, and if it is bringing in good amount of profit while minimizing the losses, then you will be in position to go for the setup on the live account also. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.